you guys are having a beautiful Sunday. It's a glorious day out here today. Let me know what you guys have cooked up for today and if you guys have any plans for this week. But first and foremost, before we dive in any further, my name is Tara. I'm Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And if you want to learn a little bit more about me, go ahead and check out that information box down below. You can check out my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com. You can hit me up on the Instagrams at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. Maybe check out our off-grid live at AZ Off-Grid or at desert.cauldron for our witchy shop stuff, which we do have that Etsy shop. So if you want to check out those goodies, which by the way, we have a little 4th of July sale going on. So if you want to save a little bit while getting some magical items, some handcrafted items, go ahead and check out Desert Cauldron. But all right, so today we have a channeling to do today as well as our weekly reading. So let's see all the homies that we have in here today. Susie is here. Hello. And our friend Mike from England. AA. Lisa is here. What is up? Peg is here. She says, Grand Rising. And hello, everyone. Susie says, hope everyone is having a lovely day. Kayla is here. Hello. Susie reminded people to smash the like button if you enjoy these live chats. Yay, yay. Susie says, love, love, love the sunnies. I love my linen glasses. I had a pair that looked just like this when I was in high school. I was so bummed that I lost them, but actually I lost them at a track meet. So once I got old enough to buy sunglasses again, I was like, Lisa saying hello to everyone. Well, all right. So for those people that maybe will be jumping in later or watching the replay or are new to the channel, I put a poll out on my YouTube channel page for people to vote on. I also offer that same poll to my YouTube members. I also offer it to my Patreon homies. So if you are a YouTube member or patron or both, then you get multiple votes on what you would like to see during the following Sunday's live chat. So technically, if you are a patron or a member, then you get extra votes if there's something that you really want to see. But it seemed somewhat unanimous. I mean, there were votes for some of the other categories, but most people wanted a channeling of the United States of America, the country itself. So I'm not quite sure what it is that we will tap into. I don't know if it's going to be the land itself speaking. I don't know if it's going to be a founding father, if it's the collective consciousness of just the section of people that live in that part of the world, this part of the world in the United States. I'm not really sure. I'm never really sure what we're going to tap into. But James is going to be helping me out with that. So first and foremost, we'll do the weekly reading. And then after the weekly reading, I'm going to ask people to start submitting questions. So whatever questions you have about America, about the country, maybe it's pressing questions about what's going on right now. Maybe it's just questions about the land itself. Maybe it's about when the country was founded. Maybe it's about where the country is headed. I don't know. So whatever questions you guys come up with, definitely make sure that you post those. James will tabulate all of those questions. Plus he'll have some questions of his own. And then we'll go from there. And then I will make sure, just as I do with any channeling that we do during a live chat, I always section out that channeling and I post it as a separate video on my YouTube page so that it could be part of the channeling playlist, which I believe we have 102 channeling videos for you guys to check out. So if you're new to the channeling series, you could be binge watching for days. There's a lot of videos on there. And we have another one coming out tomorrow, actually. And that one is something that James and I are, I mean, we enjoy all of our channelings, but there is a woman out in India that we have connected to. She's about in her early 20s. She lives on the streets. She's blind. And she has learned how to, through the removal of a good portion of her ego, to kind of telepathically communicate with people from all over the world, because, she didn't really have access to like a telephone and, computer and things like that, that she's just kind of learned to do this. And so me being a channeler, putting my feelers out there, James and I were kind of looking for somebody who we could, learn from, maybe, connect with back and forth. And we weren't trying to really, I don't really know. Didn't really have anybody in mind, and all of a sudden, this like woman popped up, and she's like, "Wow, hey!" And she says, "You're one of the few people that I get to connect to all around the world." Her name is Mina, and so we channeled her. Um, I guess telepathically channeling. I don't really know what you call that, for tomorrow's video. And so she has a lot of wisdom to share, but she's also very open. She doesn't claim to know it all, but it's all in real time, which I think is amazing. Because normally when I channel, it's, beings from different worlds, sometimes, people's spirit and higher selves, but rarely ever do I channel somebody's full ego. So, like right now, I'm speaking through, partially higher self, but also ego, because, ego has language and things like that. So, at the time we channeled her, it was like around 9 p.m. India time, and so it's like exactly at whatever she's thinking and putting out at that time. She was kind of coming through. So that I thought was like freaking amazing to be able to channel somebody's ego through real time. So it's her thinking, it's her being open. She's open to chatting. I think you guys are going to really like that video. She's an amazing soul. She has I love her personality. So, anyway, so I will put a sneak peek clip on my Instagram if you guys are interested, just kind of see what it was all about. And then tune in tomorrow, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, so let's see what we have going on here. Do, 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 do. Pex is looking lovely today. Thank you, thank you. Lisa's asking how Susie was doing. She says, I'm a knackered bird, awake all night with inflammation and autoimmune disease. Oh no, definitely sending lots and lots of healing. We will do obviously a healing guided meditation at the end of the chat, keeping you in mind, my sister. Elise is here. Hello. Girl is Kitty. Bella is better now. Thanks for all the love. Yay! So happy to hear that. So happy to hear that. Everybody's so excited. Susie's like, I love her backstory already for Mina. Elise says, oh, thanks for explaining. Channeling is an interesting process. Yes, and actually, we had a lot of people that asked, like, how do I channel? What is channeling? And I know people channel differently, so I thought it would be fun to do a little fireside chat. So there is a little fireside how I channel Q&A, just with me and James, around the campfire. But that's on the playlist too, if you guys are interested, just like what my personal process is. Of course, that's always evolving, but this is the first time I've done like direct telepathic communication with somebody through my channeling process. So being able to just like talk to her as wherever she is, and she is in Kolkata, India. And yeah, she's just super cool. And yeah, of course, like we have to get her when she is awake because she does go to bed. And so since it's like telepathic, can't really get her while she's sleeping. So Thea said, I was wondering what you might channel for the US after that debate. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's if it wasn't apparent that it's all a show, my goodness, that debate, it was like 2 children. I'm like, what is happening? Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started with this weekly reading first. I encourage you guys to share your downloads, share your messages with this weekly reading. That's what makes this live chat so fun, and also what makes the reading so much more well-rounded, because you guys have so many different perspectives. So whether you're doing, guys are working with. But before we dive into that, I want to say a thank you to everybody who joins in on these chats, even the people who are lurking, people who are commenting, people who are sharing their messages, all of my subscribers, over 10,000 of you. Thank you. Thank you. My YouTube members, Liesel, Kayla, Nancy, love you guys. Also to my patrons, Myrna, Karen, Palu, Liesel, Heather, Lily, Dana, Jamie, Kayla, Syrian, Brandy, Jason, and Brian. Love you guys. All right, so Susie drew the sun. I love it. All right, little boy has to share with us the theme for this upcoming week. Oh, hello, little lizard man. All right, let's see here. What is the theme for this upcoming week? What is it that we need to know? Perhaps some guidance, perhaps something we could meditate on, perhaps something that we could heal. And by the way, thank you to everybody who has purchased a Wally's World, which is a community-based deck with all the personal sacred spots all over the world. It is Wally's World, and he is your little guide helping you on that healing journey. All right, so let's see what we have here. Okay, so we actually have an image from Viterbo, Italia. So I went to Viterbo back in 2015 to sing in the opera over there, and a mezzanotte performance that they also had in the little town of Viterbo, which actually was the original site of the Vatican before, after a somewhat major political thing occurred, they moved the Vatican to Rome. So anyway, we have Wally here. He's just looking down from this balcony. Oh, KDS Worker is here. She says, hey, everyone, hugs and love. Susie's saying, Wally. Mike says, the weather is so bad here in England. The feed keeps breaking. Well, also here too. I mean, they've been doing a lot of, up in the sky. And so they've been bringing monsoons kind of early, actually. And it's been messing with the power. It's been messing with the internet. So it's been very hard for like keeping any sort of internet. Plus, there's a lot of people up here. But yeah, our little batteries are struggling. So it's been a struggle to keep power on this hill. Okay, so let's see what Wally has to say about this upcoming week. Okay, so Wally's saying that no matter where you are in the world, it feels like there are going to be some intense emotions that may come up for some of us, possibly not all of us, possibly not this week, but it's just saying in general, we might have some of our more difficult emotions coming up, but that's not a bad thing. We don't want to hide from those emotions, because those emotions usually, especially if they're intense, especially if they're deep, that means that there's something that is truly coming up that is in need of a good looking at, something that's in need of your immediate attention in terms of healing, not only physical healing, but we're talking emotional healing, spiritual healing. I know that many of us have been going through a massive dark night of the soul, dark year of the soul, possibly. But a lot of people have been having a tower moment. I had a tower moment. James had a tower moment. I'm still working through healing that. James is still working on healing through it as well. I kind of shared that last Sunday about, his tooth, but then after that, I had my massive tower moment. So that card that kept stalking me, I kept saying, "It's coming. Get ready. It's gonna be great." Well, a lot of intensity came up, and it feels like for a lot of people this week, some of that intensity is going to be coming up for them. So that would be your guys' personal tower moment. But remember that, with the tower, I often like to see it as like people like patching, the walls, kind of repainting the tower. They keep fixing the windows, putting duct tape over things, just trying to hold it all together. But eventually, some of that old paradigm, that old way of being just doesn't stand anymore and it comes crashing to the ground. But then you have a blank canvas. You get to start all over however it is you want. You get to decide how you want to move forward, what you want to do in the present moment. And no longer is the past a factor in that. The past is just a memory. It's something that you can recall from time to time, but it doesn't dictate your everyday life. It doesn't dictate who you become friends with or the lessons that are coming into your life, the things that we manifest into our reality because of our vibration, that we're no longer vibrating at I would say, at a place of needing to have, what occurred in the past that was unhealed to be brought into our present so that we can finally heal it. So let's get to that healing now, so that we don't, for some of us, we don't need to have, maybe that huge thing thrown into our face where we're like, but sometimes some of us need it. That's just how our soul works. Some of us feel like we need the big in the face. Some of us would rather tackle some of that healing early so that we could just keep things copacetic, running smoothly. But that's all up to you guys. So there we go. Okay, okay. Let's see. Let's go back here. Lisa says she's been getting that as well in England, some of that bad weather. Karen was wondering what a tower moment is, and I think you guys were explaining it. Susie says, love you both, Tara, and I appreciate these messages. Yes. So Susie says, Karen, it is literally destruction, dark night of the soul, and then the star falls with hope. So following, yes, so she had the sun card, and now we have hope, which is beautiful. Susie said, no worries, Karen. I'm typing one-armed. Oh, hey, Miss Squirrel. Yeah, hello. Miss Squirrel stopped by to say hi, which, by the way, we had a little Miss Squirrel moment earlier this week, a couple of days ago. I have a little cup that I put their seeds in, and we throw seeds all over the property, for the birds and everything. And Miss Squirrel ran right up because she's been getting rather cozy lately. And so I put the cup down, I was holding on to it, and she like came right up to me. She was like, grabbed a few seeds out of the cup, and I was like, okay, well, I have to cut you off because we got to save these seeds for the rest of the forest. But yeah, I think she's gotten to the point where she pretty much just jump on us at this point. But she said that, her tower moment was that snake encounter with that poisonous rattlesnake that she took out mama style. So now that that's over with and she's been healing from it both physically, emotionally, and spiritually, she says that a good portion of her squirrel ego has been moving off to the side, so that it's been easier to connect to us, easier to connect to all the other animals, the plants, the trees, and all of that. And so she's been acting a lot differently, a lot less, I guess, like a squirrel. And so with that, we've just kind of built a closer relationship. And so she came around when she saw I was going through my tower moment. She wanted to help. So yeah, it's been amazeballs. So sometimes those towers, well, they're needed from time to time. And Karen says, okay, definitely resonate with this. And Susie said, love Miss Squirrel. All right, so with that Viterbo card, let's go ahead and, you know what? You guys like the charms. Let's go ahead and pull some charms. If you guys have never seen my charm bag, it's basically pogs and like the little things that people stick on their Croc shoes. Susie has sent me like little toys that used to belong to her son. People have sent me all sorts of things. Sometimes I'll find like a little charm on the ground when I'm out and about. It could be like a little teeny toy. I try to keep them really small, so nothing too big. But if I find a little toy on the ground, or sometimes you find a number on the ground, or a piece of broken jewelry, I will put that in here. Okay, so let's see what we have going on this week. And Lisa says, my magpie friend Jackie Boy just arrived at the kitchen window. Send him love for me. Okay, let's see. So other than just kind of going with the flow, feeling into these emotions, seeing where they're coming from, especially if they're intense, um, and going into that healing. Let's see what else we need to know. Okay, I pulled the number 4, which I always see as a very grounding number. And in Mayan astrology, it represents many things. So the 4 pillars of the earth, 4-legged animals, 4 stages of growth, 4 parts of the day, 4 parts of the night, 4 seasons. It's a very stable number. Okay, and we have some letters here. U, C. Oh my gosh, 4 you see. 4 you see what? Let's see. Let's see. Okay, we have a little mask here, this little guy. And then we have, it's a little eraser topper, but it's a strawberry. Okay, so for you see mask and strawberry mask. Okay, so I'll just show you guys. That's kind of what it looks like. All right, and then I will tap into these charms. But also, if you guys get a message from these charms, that's what I love about charms is I like that other people get to kind of interpret them too. But if you guys get something out of these, let me know. But I'll tap in as well. So let's do it. Oh, okay. So it feels like these charms that some people this will be the beginning of their tower moment, but this is all good things, so that people can kind of rebuild, they can start over, they can finally heal and let go of some things that have been with us for such a long time. Like this is I may not it may not seem like it at the time, especially when we're going through a tower moment. We may be filled with distress, we might be filled with worry and anxiety, but all these emotions coming up give us an opportunity for some of that deeper healing, like I was saying. And then later on, we can go back and we can reflect and we realize that, if I didn't have that tower moment, it would have been harder for me to do X, Y, and Z. And what it feels like these charms are saying is that this summertime, for people in the southern hemisphere, it's the winter time, but this major change, whether we're in summer or we're in winter, it's time to take off the old mask, basically the old self, because oftentimes when we think of like who we are, not necessarily the person we see in the mirror, but we think of ourselves as, oh, I always do this, I always like this, I'm a person who always does this. But that's operating on what we remember of ourselves, what I remember doing as a kid, therefore that's who I am as an adult. This is how my parents trained me as a kid, and therefore that's who I am as an adult. My teachers saw me as an A student, or they saw me as the bad kid, therefore that's who I am as an adult. But that's all the past. And as many people say, what does the past have to do with what's going on right now? Because right now you can be anybody who you want to be. Why would you want to be somebody who was from before? And actually in the channeling that comes out tomorrow, Mina speaks on that. But I don't want to spoil it. So now's the time to take off basically that old mask, that old form of you, because it's not serving you. So many of you guys want to manifest, abundance. You want to manifest love. You want to manifest friends. You want to manifest a new home or a new career. You want to be able to hear your higher self more clearly. You want to be able to channel better. You want to be able to